Strangers, let me adjust this real quick, and hi. So, I am making this on Saturday because I completely forgot to do it yesterday, and so I'm doing next week's video now, and there's a lot of things to report. There are a few things that I'm not going to report because they might actually change, but one, I have two jobs. I am currently working for a sandwich shop. I'm not going to say which one. I will give you guys a hint. There is a song parody about this one. That's all I'm going to say. And there's a lot of other things going on right now, and I really do wish I could go into some things. But first and foremost, my relationship with my girlfriend is still going fine. No new updates on... No new updates on that. My second job is actually working for Instacart. And I feel a lot better talking about that than my other job, just due to the fact that it's a lot easier to find my other job than it is to find Instacart, because Instacart doesn't have a location. It's pretty much grocery delivery service, where that's the main point. Yeah, I have a lanyard. I will be delivering stuff starting today, actually. Today is my first shift, and I'll just be working for a few hours today. And I'll go into more detail of that in a later video. But yeah. So I want to go into a few bits of relationship advice, just because I thought it was kind of a thing I could do after I got all the update stuff taken care of. So, as we know, some of us are in relationships, some of us are not. Some of us have really good relationship advice, and some of us don't really need relationship advice. Like, say Jack, for instance. He's a great guy, doesn't really need relationship advice, partially due to the fact that, well, his sexuality is not a huge point for him. If he does get into a relationship, I don't think he really needs advice on relationships, just because you're Jack. You got a good head on your shoulders. Smart guy. You seem very analytical, but you still care about things. You're one of the few people out there that I think of when I think people who don't need relationship advice. Like, yeah, you seem like the guy who would seek advice out if you need it. And that's one thing that I really do like about you, is the fact that you don't wait until you need something. You seek it out as soon as there's a possibility that you might need it, which is a wonderful trait to have. But I do have some relationship advice for people who are and aren't polyamorous. Let's start with the people who are, just because I want people who aren't to watch this video all the way through. So, first bit of advice for anyone who even thinks that they might potentially be polyamorous. Don't worry about sex. Like, I understand this will apply to people who are monogamous, but seriously, don't worry about it. polyamory isn't swinging. It's full on emotional as well as physical relationships. And I keep on seeing so many polyamorous relationships fail just due to the fact that a huge focus was on sexual intimacy rather than non-sexual intimacy. Because if you go on the non-sexual side of things, it is a hell of a lot easier to really bond with people. That's one big reason I'm actually demisexual. But I let myself go into the thinking of, oh, if I'm sexually intimate with this person, then, well, they'll just like me more. And they'll want to be with me more. And that wasn't the case. Thank God. My girlfriend is also demisexual. Now, the fact that her and I do have a history has made it so that we are more apt to have a more sexual mind with each other, because it's essentially catching up and pushing forward from there. But it's still something that we needed to talk about, and we instantly bonded. Our chemistry is still fantastic, and it's still a big deal. But the next part of advice I can give for polyamorous people, or just people who wants to look into polyamory, is there's no superior partner. That may be a part of your dynamic, but you cannot treat one partner with more respect than the other. You may dedicate more time to one. I'm not saying that you can't have a partner who is more commonly seen with you, or a partner that you focus more of your attention on, but you're not going to put one partner down to build another one up. It's just, no. It's sort of like putting one child above another when you're not supposed to. But that leads me into the next thing. Kids with partners. This is something I am extremely new to. But the one piece of advice that I can give, and it's a solid piece of advice, they're kids. Don't try and break them up. Keep them together. Let them be. And you are actually bound to have better children because of that. So yeah, let them grow together. And here's the part where I go into things for everyone, essentially. Doesn't matter what your sexuality is, even if you're asexual. I'm not going to talk into the humpy bumps, as I call it. 1, open communication is the key to any successful relationship. If you are not talking to your partner and there is not an open line of communication, if you're married, fill out the divorce papers or get to work on that. If you're not married, leave. If you are not willing to have open communication, if there are secrets that you have from your partner other than what you are getting them as a present for a specific holiday, or if you are getting them things, period. So presents are the only secrets that should be a part of any relationship, unless there is a specific reason for that does not include you don't want them to find out. There are some important secrets that are necessary. I am going to admit that. But do not, and I repeat, do not hide things from your partner just because You either don't want to get in trouble, you don't want to upset them, or you don't want them to be hurt, even though it's an important thing. So yeah, open communication. And that is the only piece of advice anyone needs for every relationship type. Seriously, that can solve about 90% of any type of relationship issue out there. Just open communication. And if that means that, you know, you guys end the relationship just due to key differences, then it'll stop heartbreaking that may happen in the future, and it would make the heartbreak less. So yeah. Anyway, strangers, I've talked for like 11 minutes now, and I have no clue how I'm going to make this video any shorter because I've just been rambling on and on and on. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you guys later. DFTBA, bye-bye.